Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hera TV. My name is Lale Hancock, and today we have another one of these incredible, empowering agents who's joining me today. I have Rosi Orozco. Welcome, Rosi. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Lale. Thank you, and it's such an honor for me.
You know, she's not only one of our incredible ambassadors for Hera, but she has been this powerful agent empowering youth, empowering women, empowering humanity for a very long time. And I would love it actually if you share your story with us. I know it started early on that you had this gift, you had this passion, you discovered yourself in Israel. And then that started the domino effect of you wanting to bring human rights to have a voice, people to have a voice, and not only to see what's going on in the world, but be able to empower them to have a different life. So Rosi, will you just share with the audience a little bit more about you and the magic that got started in Israel and then all the magic you're creating now?
Lale, I think we all have had opportunities in life. Some of us has the opportunity to be born in a home where you have love, where you had studies. And then when I was 23 years old, I went to Israel for honeymoon with an incredible man that is Alejandro Orozco. So in that trip, I had an encounter with God. I think I was a person that, even though I had a lot of love, I was selfish. And I discovered that life is not about us. It's not about me. It's about purpose, that it's more for others than for ourselves. It's good to look for ourselves. It's good to love yourself, but it's more incredible to love others. So on that trip, my honeymoon was full of the love of God. And then my husband and me, we started to help others and to have couples that were having divorce and things like that to be helped, and youth people that was in drugs or in problems. But then 2005 was the year where I understood what Mark Twain said. You know, you have two important dates in your life: the day that you are born and the day that you discover why you were born, what is the purpose in your life. And I understood that day that human trafficking was something that I could not sleep again without doing something. So William Wilberforce said about slavery that when you already know, you cannot turn your face and not do something. So since that date in Washington, D.C., in an event that was called the Bridge Project, I decided to fight against trafficking. And that changed my life forever, Lila.
Well, not only your life, I mean, just listening for a few minutes of what you've done. And I know if we can tell a little bit more, you know, your passion started for helping others, empowering them when there was just difficulty going on in their lives. Human trafficking is different. You know, we're talking about a whole different kind of ball game. And not only did you bring light to it, but you've created that the government is now more engaged, more involved. You're bringing light to something, but you're also giving voice to these incredible people that haven't had the best experience so far in life. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, I think what you discover is that there is a word in Jewish, in Hebrew, that is tzedakah. And the rabbi always comes and says, Lale, give me your tzedakah. And that comes from a word that is justice, tzedek. So when I was there in 2005, I was, conscious that I was born in this family with so many opportunities. And this girl that I was listening to her story was born in completely opposite situation. So when you understand that you don't deserve because you didn't choose where to be born, you didn't choose the family, the parents. So this girl was abandoned, this girl was in poverty, girl was without opportunities. Then in life, you have this moment where when you understand that you have more than enough and you have to give. It's not that you are good, it's not that you are generous, it's that you must do something in justice. It's justice, it's not generosity. So that day I learned I have to go back to my country, to Mexico, and I have to do something to help these girls because at that age I understood I had so much. So I went back to Mexico. We opened the first shelter that is Fundación Camino a Casa. This shelter has been so important for the whole world. At that time, the few shelters that were helping victims were helping with the money of governments and only for 3 months, 6 months, the most 1 year. This shelter was open to help this girl until they were succeeding, until they understand how important it is to have a blank page, to write a new story, until they have a new story. So that shelter started 2007 for girls. 10 years later, we opened 2017 for boys. Mm. And right now, for example, one of the girls that arrived when she was 6 years old, she just turned 18 years old. And what she said that day, that was December the 1st, she said, I want to become like you. I want to be the leader of the fight against human trafficking. I want to start helping the little girls that has arrived like me at 6. So I was so happy because Isabel is her name, was finding also her purpose. Just 1 week before, there was some girls from the Jewish community who were teaching the children, the boys and the girls, how important it is to have a passion, how important it is to have something that gives you pleasure, but most important, to find the purpose in your life. So they draw 3 circles, pleasure, mm-hmm. ice cream, something that you like. Another one, passion, football or a sport you like, but then purpose. Mm-hmm. And how pleasure, it's for you. It's something you like. Also passion could be for you. But then when you write this 3 circle and you find the purpose, it's something you will be passionate about. It's something that is going to give you pleasure, of course, but it's something that is for the others. Mm-hmm. And I think that that teaching from Moshe Tusi and all these girls, I think that went in her heart. So December the 1st, I think she is so happy, passionate about it, but she's finding her purpose and she wants to become a leader for human trafficking fight. I love it.
I have to say, I do a lot of programs with leadership, work a lot with the youth. She's already a leader. And mm-hmm. for her to say this, I mean, I am so hopeful for the future because this generation, they're so different. And the ways that they're willing to lead. And people like you, I mean, thank you for all that you have actually done, because you did it because you knew you had to, but it came from within you. It came from just the passion that you had for not just helping others, but to empowering them to have a voice, to have a future, and to know they're not broken, that they are this gift, and that they just needed an environment. They just needed people that cared to show them something else so much greater is available. And I have to say that, being with Hera, I am just so grateful that we have incredible people like you as ambassadors, because that's the gift that Hera wants to be in the world. Empower all to know that there's something else available, but not just sit and talk about it. What resources are we putting in one place so that people know, and not about here, here's the food you have for today, but really teach them to fish so that they are empowered and can take care of themselves and become that inspiration that then empowers the others. Like this young lady, Isabel, she's looking at her gifts of all the people that she can also inspire and invite to a different possibility. Yeah. So I know that, Hera found you, you found Hera. Can you just say a little bit more about, how did you discover Hera? And from your own perspective, what do you visualize Hera to be like in the next year to 5 years?
I think being a part of GSN, Global Sustainability Network, Sandra, a woman from Spain, met me and she introduced me to Marianela. And when I heard that Hera is going to help women to, recover their dignity, that is what the victims of human trafficking are completely destroyed, and dignity is so important. The people that wants to continue selling women as slaves, the people who has the industry to make a woman an object, they don't like that our law protects dignity. The law, when I learned that the children were not going to have justice in Mexico because our law was completely wrong and was not protecting dignity, I had the opportunity, and it was a miracle, that I became a congresswoman. And my aim since my campaign was to be able to build this law. So when I was in Congress, I passed this bill thanks to my 500 Congress companion and 128 senators that voted this law unanimous. And that's a miracle again. So I'm so thankful to all my friends in the 61 Congress time. And it's incredible people. But we have a very important law that protects dignity. The people that has this industry, that are the criminals who wants to turn a pimp in a businessman, they always try to take away dignity from the law, and they say, well, if this girl was born wanting to be a whore, because that's the way they express it, is not me, well, you should leave them. And they want to turn this law to another concept that is completely wrong, because nobody in earth, I have never ever discovered a girl that at 12 years old says, well, when I grow up, the purpose in life for me is going to be with 30 men a day that will be, over me, and people, business people, pimps saying, I don't care. You go with that man. I don't care if he wanted to kill you last time. I don't care if he smells bad. You go and work for me. That's what I fight against. If a woman says, I want, and I decide because I can be an engineer, but I want to be with so many men, well, we have to respect that. But not that somebody earns money from the prostitution of another human being. That's completely wrong, and that's slavery, and that's abuse, and those people could not be called business people. Thanks God, the CEDAW now, CEDAW, you know CEDAW, okay? Just right now, the new recommendation of the CEDAW is that prostitution cannot be called work. Wow, for the CEDAW. It's so important, the recommendations, the new recommendations from the CEDAW. We have to study them and we have to implement them in politics and in laws, because that's the new recommendation of the CEDAW that has to do with the convention in 1949 against prostitution, because prostitution, it's violence against women. So CEDAW, thanks God.
But we have to thank your work too, because it's the effort of everyone. Like I said earlier, bringing light to this, because, so many people don't even know this is happening. But I want to also talk a little bit about this magic book behind you. So it's called Blank Page. Can you
Thank
share a
you.
little bit more about this?
Yeah, in Spanish, hoja en blanco. In Spanish, it's called hoja en blanco, and English, blank page. It's in Amazon, everybody can buy it. And when you buy it, you help the shelters, because all the profit, all the royalties goes for the shelters. And it's the concept that one of the girls, when she was invited by the Vatican, she was coming to the Pope event with all the mayors. Our advisor in communication, Clemente Cámara, he asked her, how do you feel? And she and Sunduri, another girl that was literally with a chain, she was literally a slave, they both came out with this concept. I was rescued and I am writing a new story in a blank page. Mm-hmm. So they taught all the mayors of the world that were there, and there was governors like the governor from California and people that was so important for the Pope. They all heard both stories, and at the end they both took a picture with all the mayors with a blank page. And in the world, the picture of the Pope with a blank page, that it has a Bible, a biblical concept, because Jesus was saying that you can born again. Mm-hmm. So this is the born again nature. With a blank page, you can write a new story.
That's my philosophy in life. I believe every day is a new day, and it is a white canvas that you get to draw. And, being able to empower these young ladies to put away what happened to a different story, a different story of change. So, wow, incredible. Rosi, it's been such a pleasure to be here with you. I'm curious, what are your thoughts about this vision of Hera of the future? Like 5 years from now, what do you think Hera will be like?
Well, I think when we decide to help at least one woman in the world, if my country has 57% of people that are vulnerable to human trafficking. That's said by Walk Free, the organization from Australia. And if half of my country is vulnerable, and we can help the other half. So if we could help at least one woman, if all the women that is listening to your program decides to help one person that is vulnerable, like Isabel, until they are successful, like these 10 ladies that are now successful and one man. If we decide to help at least one, the world will change. So I know that Hera is a movement that will help women, and that will change the whole story of our planet.
So lovely. I so look forward to this, because already it's starting to, the cities haven't been built yet in the different countries, but already the engagement, the conversations, and the different programs that are happening around the world, this is already happening. And I just look forward to the multiplier effect, because like you said, it takes one person one person touches millions of people. So imagine how many we would have, and then truly a different kind of future and different kind of world that we can all live in, and know that the next generations get to have it be so different than what we've ever what we got to experience. Okay, so what action can women take to help other women around the world? Is there something
Well,
you think?
Lale, do you accept? I know that you help a lot of women. That's why you are in Hera. But do you accept the challenge to help one more until she helps others?
I sure do.
Do you accept that?
I
Do you
sure
accept that challenge? Okay. Then we will challenge the rest of the people in this concept of tzedakah, because tzedakah comes also from a mandate from Leviticus, where God says to the people that are in agriculture to leave some of the fruit of that in the corner for the people that does not have a field to come and take it with dignity. That's the key word, dignity. We have to help others, but with dignity. And that means you are not going to make that people feel bad because you are helping her. You are going to make her feel that she is the one that is a champion, that she is so valuable. So when we learn how to start our shelters, first, we don't have money from the government. We don't want. Because today you have one party, next time you will have another one, then the girls will not have dignity if they come and take away the funds and they destroy what the other government did. So we learned that first we decided not to have. It's us, and we can do it if we are in unity. That's why our movement is called United Against Trafficking. Unity is so important. Hera movement has to have unity. We are not in competition. We are to help, to give our hand to the others. So when we learn to help others with that concept, tzedakah, I don't deserve what I have. So I must help others because I receive love, so I have love to give. There is women that has never received love since they were born. Isabel, the girl that I was telling you, saw how his father in Guatemala killed her mother with a machete. She was so little. She started with a little cloth to try to stop the blood. She saw the mother die. She was separated from their sister. She's a triple, and she was separated from her older sister and her two triple sisters, and taken to Cancun to be forced to prostitution by his father. So when she was rescued, she didn't speak Spanish because she was from a Maya town. She was all the time crying, making pee-pee in the bed, and she had to take psychiatric medicine for long. It is like 1 year and a half that she stopped the psychiatric treatment, and she's completely normal and now wishing to do this to others, help others, give her life for others. And it took 12 years to help her. Sometimes we have around us people that are addicted to drugs or alcohol. We have people that are destroying their family. They are in this disintegration, and the children, the teenagers are so confused. So, or we have elders that are now in this pandemic world with so much mental problems because they are by themselves, they are abandoned, they feel, that with so much fear. So they are vulnerable even to be caught by these mafias. We should help at least one. That old lady can feel that she is still a blessing to this world because she knows how to teach maths. And children now are without the mother, and she can she can learn how to be with like us, Lale, you from Portugal and me from Mexico, and we can be together. She can break that generation barrier, and she can learn how to teach that girl that the mother has to work because their family is destroyed, the man went, out of the home. We can help each other, and Hera can be that bridge to unite the people that needs help. I think it's possible. We are doing that. We are helping so many people and doing these bridges from generation and doing this help, because that people is vulnerable to be in a human trafficking situation, in a slavery situation. Yeah.
Rosie, thank you, thank you, thank you. This was such an incredible time with you. And I'm so glad that we got to share you with this Hera audience. And truly, the challenge is there, people. It takes one of you and being able to touch one person, which has that domino effect of inspiration and inviting people to another possibility. So thank you so much for being here.
And please guide us. Guide us what, if you accept the challenge, Lale, you and me, we will be posting what we are doing. How are you going to help one? And guide us. Hera women, please guide us. How are you going to accept this challenge? How are you going to help one? And then what are you doing until that person will be able to help others?
And you can reach us at heracity.org and click on the contact page and let us know. And we look forward to actually hearing from you guys. Rosie, such gratitude for you and what you're being in the world. And thank you so much for being here with us today. And remember, her book is available in Amazon, and you can purchase it there, and know that your gift is actually contributing to so much more than what you'll ever imagine. And the holidays are coming up. So what a great time to be able to add this to your list of things that you share with your family and friends. Thank you, Rosie, so much. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.